I don't know. A lot of people seem to be getting this issue. Yeah, so what happens is the stream disconnects, or it disconnects, but it's still streaming. So like the audio just disconnects. And I just have to restart the stream. I don't know if it's something with I mean, I changed like the sample rate and everything, the output, streaming, the bit rate and everything should be fine. I don't know. I did the optimization too, so it should be using the best settings that it could. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a Twitch thing. I just have to like end stream and then start again fast. But no, Blurry, there is a locking system in here. So if you are on a public server, like this is locked, I'm not the owner. There is no key. Like the owner did not assign a key, right, and then give it to me to be able to use their machine. So there's nothing I can do. Like I can't, I can't write it. But this one, right? It's unlocked. I'm the owner. Like I could hop in it. So this is my locked test machine. All right, so let's clean this up. I'm gonna minimize all of this. So really, I only want to keep. I know there are like some things that I'm keeping here. I'm gonna delete all this stuff though, that I'm not necessarily using right now. I'm gonna keep that smaller ring because I did label that. So it's this ring. Just what I'm going to do so it doesn't overlap with anything, I'm just gonna push it out. So it will render with our model, but I don't really care. All right, so we are going to get rid of this old flying machine temporarily. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna click save, and now I'm gonna undo that delete. There we go. I was going to say, now I'm going to undo that delete. God, the lag is hard. All right, so what I'm going to do, the game is open. I'm just going to fireball any changes, and we're going to reload. Now it should reload the new model. Again, we didn't do the texturing for it, so it's going to inherit whatever texture the old thruster had, so it's probably going to just take on the beige metal, the kind of rusted metal. Can't wait for the modding series. As I know how to model, but I'm really special at everything code-wise. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm going to start like the first video is going to be the environment that I set up. Oh, we got we got some client issues there, but this is what we made. I think it looks pretty good. If we can imagine. This inner ring is going to be the glow. The outer ring and the center rings are probably going to be metal. This connection part is going to be... So those rings are going to be, like this metal. /time set day. There we go. So it's going to be this metal. The frame texture is going to be the connecting bits. And then we'll have that glow on the inside. And then you can see there's that line right there. So we made those panels. That is going to be, in this case, it's going to be the default wood. So let's do that and then see how it is. I do kind of like this new thruster. I like it. You know what I could do? Instead of having like the two thrusters, because there is a lot of empty space here, I could make that a floating ring right in the middle. And that could be like the same thing with like a lot of my models, right? Like because no matter what the machine is, you want to be able to move forward and backwards. So that's going to be a static ring anyways. And then what I can do is, for like the hauler, like it would kind of, I don't know. I think I may end up moving it so it's just like one ring kind of hovering in between these two coils here. That looks real good. Yeah, thanks. I am going to move this. I decided I do want it to be here. You know, that way it's because it's kind of hidden. I spend all that work making that item, and it's like tucked inside, right? Like, but yeah. So let's do the texturing here. The way I do this is I'm gonna do File, Save As, because this is my work in progress. I'm going to I have a ZZZ. I do that just because I don't want it to blend with everything else. Temporary Flying Basic, that's a good name. I will put in V2, however. Dash V2. That way I can save everything as is. Now what I want to do is click on things, copy the name. I change the textures by hand, mainly because I don't have textures mapped here. I like that WoW Easter egg. Oh, you're talking about my license plate? I love World of Warcraft. I haven't played in a while, but man, I used to play the crap out of that. And the Mechaneer's Chopper and the Mechanahog. I had friends that played both Horde and Alliance servers, so I didn't care which one. Like, they would play Alliance, and then everyone would faction change to Horde. So it's like I'm the last one, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going Horde. And then they went Alliance again, so I paid for another faction, another transfer. And then, oh, we want to go Horde. It's like, personally, I don't care if I'm Horde or Alliance. I just like to play with friends, you know. Bum, 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 bum. But, yep, that's my struggle. All right, so what I do is we're going to ignore the game for now. I will go to the model creator, and this ring is going to be the ring I want to start with. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to delete the windows I don't need, and we are going to open the JSON file directly. So, and I find this is the best way to do this. So I'm going to search by that particular name, and I found it here. What I'm going to do is minimize everything, and I'm going to do a select. We are going to look for anything that is hashtag frame, and I want to turn it to hashtag metal. I want it to have the metal texture. See, it automatically puts in selection mode, so I just do a replace all. 348 places, right? Done. Save. What you could do if you're paranoid, to see what you changed, just do a quick reload. I do hold control down, hit F1. It reloads everything. There's probably like a .reload space textures or whatever that you could do that would be faster. But normally when I'm modding, right, I'm changing language file stuff. It could be texture model stuff. It could be shaders. It could be, I disabled an item or I added a new item or new block. Oh, see, it did it. It did it for everything. Ha! All right, so I'm actually going to keep that. And I'm going to get just these connectors here, and I'm going to change those manually. So, like this. Copy. Paste, right? I'm going to select this. I'm going to use the drop down. We're going to go back to looking for just metal, right? And if it says metal, I want it to be a frame. So all 6 are done there. Here's the next one. Boop. Oh, you know what? I think it's going to go down in a line here. But I'm going to just do it one at a time, right? Select it all, go back and look for metal. So it changed another 6. I want the bottom, this name. Boop. Select it all. If it says metal, I want it to be frame. And the last one's going to be annoying to get right there. So it's this name, paste. And instead of metal here, okay. Ooh, and we're gonna change this, And Freya's home. She says she has a quick surprise for me. So I will be taking a 5-minute break because I got to pee anyways. I've been live streaming for what, an hour and a half now, maybe 2 hours. But we'll make this change. I will do a reload. There we go. We are going to save. I'm going to fireball it in, right? I'm going to save and then fireball. And we'll do a quick reload. I will make this full screen. All right, and I will be right back. All right. Hair in my face. It was either that or I just walked into a spider web. Did y'all see a spider come down here? Let's see. Yeah, some people do swap their factions a lot still because of the meta. Yeah, I don't know. I always liked Alliance a little more, but I like the story of the Horde as well. So I don't really care which one, you know, whatever. Well, sadly, I have to go in a bit because the end of the week work meeting, but I wish you good luck, and I'll jump back in if you'll still be live whenever you're live again. All right, Blurry. I'll see you later. Godspeed. We'll continue here. So, yeah, it looks like we're starting to see, right? Like, kind of making it pop a little more. We can do the other side. We'll do the panels, and then we'll do the inner lining. So, again, right, to find what the name of each thing is. I don't know why. Oh, that was the empty cube. We'll delete that. So really, all I have to do with this one is look for ring curve. Right here. So then it is all of the children of ring curve. We are going to look for metal and then replace metal with frame. So it should be what? 6, 12, 18, 24. Yep. So that should be that. This is why I like to have, you know, everything in its own little group as I do this too. We are living it. Because see, now what I can do is I can find this one, this cylinder, which should be the entirety of that inner ring. I can copy this. We will paste it in. I will minimize everything, right? So it should be all of this. We are now going to look for anything that says metal. And we are going to want to put in, I think I called it Rusty Glow. 48 sounds about right. 6 times 8. Fireball it in. And we're going to do a reload. So it should pop a little more. And then we'll do the panels. Like if everything looks good, we will do the panels next. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. So we're starting to see, right, the general direction here. We got that inner glow ring, which I think looks pretty good. We have our metal. Right there, metal ring. Now let's do these little patches here. I'm going to delete the stuff here. Right, so really it's these 4 that we are looking for. Copy, paste. Actually, you know what? We will copy all this, paste, select it all. If it says metal, I want it to be panel. And replace all. 60 seems like a lot. We're going to reload. And also what I'm going to do is file, open. We are going to, yep, it's all saved. We are going to reopen our model that we're working on. Your current project, say unsafe project, yes, clear it. So this is what we are currently working on. Yeah, and they weren't able to find some of the animations. That makes sense. I can delete. Okay, you know what? The 60 did make sense. There we go. File, save. So this is what we're looking at here. This is not what I wanted. We are going to do one more reload. So what I did is I realized that this was going to... It was duplicate. There were a lot of duplicates. But now it should be just the panel because it kept the outside rings. So we'll see what it looks like here in a moment. So that's what we're looking at, /time set day. So you got your panel, you got your metal, the rusty glow ring on the inside. We're not getting any weird Z fighting. So this is actually looking pretty good. I don't like this. I'm thinking I like the metal ring on the outside. Or should it be like the casing? The casing. And then this could be like metal from here to here to the casing. I think we're gonna play with this a little bit, but a little bit later, I should say. But I do like this, right? Because we can pull up a mock. Here we go. We'll do a panel. We'll do purple heart so I can like apply it, right? Oh, I don't own this machine, so I can't retexture it. Oops. Wait, no, I should be able to. Is this the one that I own? Yep, here we go. So see, like I want whatever you texture things to be like, right? I want it to kind of show in all parts of the model. So I think that's gonna look good. I like that. Maybe this shouldn't be... Maybe we shouldn't do it in rings, right? What if the outside was the frame, and then this inside part was all metal? That way I can put a liner in here, which could be that frame texture, right? So you'll get the rings of the dark kind of gray here, and then like an inner ring of it here. And then when you look at it from the outside, it's going to be metal, 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 right? Like a metal kind of caging with the offset of the panel. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I think it's gonna work out better. So what do we want to change? We want to change those rings. Okay. This shouldn't be that bad. So we're going to look at ring curve again. Right? We're going to minimize all the children for ring curve. Select it all. We are going to specifically look for frame. And if it's frame, we're going to turn it back into metal. We're going to do the same thing with this other ring curve. So paste, minimize. We are going to make frame, and we're going to turn it to metal, right? Now we're going to look at the outer ring, which should be this one's the first one. We're going to get all the children. The children. If it's metal, then we are going to turn it into frame. Save. The last part here, it is this outer ring. Copy. Paste. Minimize the children. If it is metal, then we want it to be frame. 48. Okay, let's save this, fireball it in, and do a quick reload. I think it's going to look better like this. Yeah, I like that a little more. And then I'll have the black line on the inside. If I really wanted to, I could have like a black line on the outside, like a single one wrapping around. And then maybe where the panels are, I could have like a thin accent. But that would be getting into more detail, right? I still have to figure if I want it to be just this kind of cylinder ring or if I want this other floating ring here as well. Maybe I could have like a smaller ring and then a smaller ring, like thin, smaller rings that kind of hover there. Maybe I could do an animation where those rings kind of like socket inside of here. You know, so like it kind of goes on this inner ring and then the other inner ring. And then once the engine is on, it can like move them out, kind of like space, kind of like a net, you know, like a net in water, right? You could crunch it up, and as you move it, it kind of expands. Could do something like that. Which case I would probably want to get rid of that ring, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Or make a new ring that is a lot thinner. Could be that as well. But I think this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and move this item and create a mount point for it on top of this. Right? Because I think that's what I'm going to want to do. How the heck do I want to do this? I think I have an idea of what I want to do. See, my problem is I like the spacing here. What if I shift this to where it's right underneath? No, because if it's underneath, then it's going to cut off some of the runes. You know, like at an angle, like right underneath here. Maybe it could socket into here. Or maybe it could just sit on top. I don't know. All right, let's move this item. That's going to be in our shape renderer. I'll leave the mount point where it is. It's fine. But we can at least we could move it. Where's my shape renderer? Here it is. Scroll towards the bottom. Here we go. Assembly slot. This is something cool. You could move it on the fly. So I want to bring it out. I'm going to move this over. So I don't want to mess with that translation. Wait, I think I do. All right, which way did it push it? Up, down, left, or right? I think that was too aggressive of a move. Okay, so it pushed it like way over there. So I don't want to mess with that orientation. Should be there. Y is going to push it up, I believe. There, we'll have it to where we can see it on the side here. Right, see, there it goes back. What if I do 5? Is this really going to be up? Yes, it is. Okay, so we may want that. I need to rotate it eventually. If I do 7, 5. How much did it rotate it? It didn't really rotate it that much at all. About a 0.75. Okay, that's that's getting closer. So if I do a 25% rotation, where'd it go? Oh, so there it is. It's like inside there. So maybe 50 is what I want to get the right angle. I don't think 50 is what I want. All right, before I do anything, let's just zero it out. I'll start from 0, then I'll move it where I want it. There we go. So it's laying flat. Let's move it down so I can see it there. Hot reload. Whoa, wrong direction. So it's got to be a negative then. So that's where we are now. I want to back it up a little bit. There we go. That's pretty darn good. So we can kind of see it there. So I want to pull it back. Gotta pull it back a lot. Wow. There we go. Let's lift it up a bit. All right, now let's work on the angle. So what if I put in a 7? A 2? What about a 2? So what if I make this a 1.2? Okay. I think I'm getting how the rotation is. So what if I do a 4.0? We are getting there. What about a 7? No. I'm trying to picture how this is. I'm gonna just cycle through. See, something like that, right? It looks like it's starting to be what I'm looking for. 0.5. See, that's just this is so weird. So that's perfectly flat right there. You know what I could do? I could shift the pivot point because technically it is like back here. And I'm forcefully moving it. So let's pull up the model. And then we'll have to recalculate what we just did, but I think this is going to be better. Let's just re-enable most things. It's this that should have... One of these has our attachment. This has our attachment point on it. Okay. So we got our attachment point, which is in the corner there. You know what I could do? I'm going to make a new attachment point. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to push the whole thing. Whoops. I'm going to push the whole thing out. Cube. Position. But this way. Here we go. So that's what I'm looking at here. The origin, I'll try and have it close to the middle. I think 8 would do. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's back up the origin a little bit. Let's get rid of the 0.5. That is good. Let's scroll up. Make that a 13. 13.25. Nope. So 12.75. That centers it. All right, and I'm gonna just use this here. This plate is too big of a plate. So what if I get rid of the other plate? See, this is still too big. All right. I think I'm gonna have to rebuild this for what I'm thinking, because I would like this frame to be part of the chassis, and then you place it on right on the outside, and then everything else kind of, you know, unfolds around it, right? That's my idea. So I could have thin bars like this. If I duplicate that, oops. Move it this way, right? So now we have 2 thin bars. Kind of stack these accordingly. I will keep this frame, but what I'm going to do is thin it out a lot. Make it nice and thin. I am going to position it. Shift it up a little. Shift it back, right? So it like sits on there. Now I can move these back in, right? I will lower the point of origin here. That is pretty darn good. I am going to shift the entire model up a little bit. Back. Right, so it looks like it's locking inside. Whoops. We can lift it. Whoops. We can shift the entire thing up a little bit. Right? So it's like a bar that's gonna be in here. Let's push it back like that, and now we can angle it here so that it like sits on top, right? I should be able to bring this whole thing down a couple ticks, right? Just so it's right above where the capacitors would be. This is going to be the new point, like where the card is going to be, right? Where the item is going to be. Which means right here, it's going to be labeled something different. This could be assembly socket. Mount point. Socket frame dash mount point. We will do file. Shit. I gotta check something fast. It may undo everything that I did here. So this should be metal. Right, metal. I can't see. I can't see what textures it is. You know what? It's more important to to do this. I like this. We'll save. File, save. Okay. Now let's do... Yeah, this is gonna look pretty good, actually. All right, so I need to find the old mount point, which should be here. Yep. I'm gonna copy this. All right, copy the name. I'm gonna delete it here. We're gonna go down to the bottom, create a new mount point, call it point assembly, and let's shift it over. I'm gonna center it. The hell? Oh, so it's got to be a 5.25. There we go. So that should be centered. It's going in the direction that I want. Yeah, this is going to be perfect. File, save. Now we're going to reload and hope that too many things didn't get borked. Delicious. Can't wait for my package to come. Oh, we're getting a new AC today, too. This thing, like, you get the app, right? Like, you could remotely turn it on and stuff and, like, control it. It's pretty cool. Come on, baby. Sign the treaty. Good. It saved some of it. It undid some of our work. But this is the new frame here. I do like that. Because it's just going to be the empty frame when there's nothing socketed. Now we can redo this to have it be correct. So I'm going to do that. So this is what it's like when it's zeroed out. Let's zero everything out. Actually, not everything. We do want to keep that. You know, I'm not going to zero everything out. What am I thinking? I probably should do... like 7.5? No. What if I get rid of rotating it this way? This is what it is base, so it's perpendicular, right? So let's go back into the model. I'm going to rotate it in the model. I want to do it on this axis. -90. File, save. Reload. Hope everyone's doing well. Can't wait to bust this bad boy out. Blue Yeti microphone. Maybe my voice will sound better. It'll be nice just to not have like this, you know, right there by my face. Okay. It didn't do shit. Like, what's wrong? What if I'm gonna zero everything out? Because I'm working, every once in a while, you'll just want to kind of take it back, right? Like, this is all the old calculations. I need to make sure I know what the heck this is doing. So this is where it is by default. Which, if you think about it, the way my pivot point is, I have it in the center. Right there. And it's offsetting it that much. Oh, it's because I'm scaling it down 50%. So that is why. Okay. So we do want to keep some of this here. Right? So that offsets it pretty well. We need to bring it down. It's not how far down we want to go. This is going to probably bring it back down, make that a 5. Right, getting closer. Let's worry about the rotation now. Although it is annoying that it's not doing the rotation properly. Right, because I did save it. I saved it. Maybe if I fireball it and then do a reload. Man, I got this bag of Smarties here. I am getting so sick of Smarties. It's a tough candy to eat and love. It's good in like small bursts, but man. Yeah, it didn't rotate it at all. So, I mean, what's the point of even doing a rotation then? So I'm just going to save it, right? We'll reload. My new graphics card's huge. Freaking thing is huge, man. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-da-da-dum-bum. Yeah, see, it didn't rotate it at all. All right, so I'm just gonna have it here. We're gonna have to bring in the rotation transform here. We are gonna have to figure this out. So what's a 1.0? It's actually starting to get there, right? So is this what I'm looking for? Ooh, maybe. Maybe not. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. I hate that it takes a float radius. Right? Like can I just do like 90? Like a full. See that? I don't actually I don't know. No, that's not going to work. So you can't put in like whole numbers or anything. So it's just going to rotate it a bunch. So it would be worth trying to dial it in this way. You know, to get the correct angle. That may actually be a good angle. All right, and now we just have to shift this item down. Which may be this way. Well, it's shifting it that way. We needed to do that anyways, apparently. I hate when it's like tab to accept. No, I don't want you to help me code. You don't know what I'm thinking. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. That's probably what we need. Let's do a +3. Ooh, okay, let's shift it a bit more this way. Because I want it to be like right on the charger. Oh my god, is this just going to be like zeroed out? Nope, it's not. We're getting there. Maybe a 6. All right, let's take a look here. Ooh, that's got it right there. It definitely sockets into it. The angle does not look weird at all. You could see the copper connection. If we take out the item, yeah, look at that. Ooh, yeah. I like that so much more. So much more. All right, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I was going to get off at 12 anyways. Okay. All right, love you. Actually, I was going to get off at 12 to go for a run. I guess I'll be getting burgers instead with Freya. Tasty, delicious. So we got a Red Robin around here. Man, it's so good. They have these like the never-ending drinks. I get the orange vanilla like drink. Oh my god, it's good. And I say no ice, right? I don't need your ice. It only slows me down. Okay, so I'm liking this a lot more. We have that one thruster. Now let's think. If I want one thruster, probably should have something here, right? Maybe I could have mounts coming from here and then angling up to the thruster ring. Okay, either way, we are able to continue, I think. So I can close that out. What I'm going to do is do a file open. I want to make sure I'm using this version, right? That I'm rendering right now in the game. All right, and let's shift all of this over. So it's all of this. So I want this to be over right in the middle. Let's see what it looks like. Center it the best that it can be centered. Kind of use that globe as like the middle. I guess a whole number does... No, it's actually off by a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's going to look good. Probably want to lift it a bit. Definitely want it pushed back. This other ring right now, this isn't what I want. I'm going to delete it. Start off with just the one ring. There we go, the whole thruster. Maybe push it back a little bit. You know, something that like hovers, right? Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, kind of liking this. Wonder if I should have it... Maybe I should have pipes here that kind of like angle down, like tubes that angle down and then go into the machine instead of having something hover. Unless I do hover and I just rotate this ring, but it would be weird if it rotates in one direction. I'm a sucker for symmetry, so that works if there were two rings and they were kind of rotating around, but just having one, or maybe I could just shift it back and forth. I don't know what I can do with it, but I do know one thing. We need to make sure, because this is pretty much going to be the ideal thruster. Yeah, Blurry, still live. I got about half an hour until I go out and get some burgers. But we do need to make sure our orientation here is spot on. Whoops. So what I'm going to need to do is make a new cube. Reset everything. Right? This is going to be an empty cube. I'm going to put everything in here. I will name this Rift or Rust Thruster. There we go. Rust Thruster. I do have to make sure that not the position, but the origin is in the middle of the ring, because I can animate rotations easier that way. If I do want to pursue it. I'm not sure if I'm even going to want to have it rotate. So the closer I can get it to direct center, the better, right? So something like that. Right in the center of the ring. That is probably going to do it there. I think that's going to do it there, right? That way, if I, whoops, not rotate it that way. If I rotate it this way, you know, imagine it being able to rotate. That's pretty good. Although I feel like it's just, it's like a little off. What about some sort of magnetic system that holds that thruster in place? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But for a magnetic system, I would have to make a like a something that it could sit on, right? And then when it powers on, it can like hover up a little, like shift up, and then it can like rotate back and forth. And there'll be particles spawning inside of this ring as well. But we're going to save this model because I want to take a look at it. We are going to... I have to retexture this, right? Because it didn't save our old textures, which I'm okay with. This wasn't that bad to do. So we got to do the 2 outer rings. Cylinder ring. Here we go. So it would be, that's 1 outer ring, that's the other one. All right, so copy. Let's pull up the JSON file. Paste. All right, so it's everything in here, all the children. If it is, I think it's metal currently, I want it to become frame. And then we have this outer ring. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Minimize all the children, select all, find metal, and go ahead and replace everything. Save, fireball. Okay, now I want these to be metal. Yeah. So let's go back. Where's our model? There it is. I can find it here. Ring curve. Boop. Everything inside of here. If it says frame, I want it to be metal. All right, and then the other one's just called ring curve. That works. Get all the children. If it is frame, I want it to be metal. 24, sounds right. All right, let's fireball it in. Let's see what the new model looks like. Rotate and moves a tiny bit up and down to simulate that it's hovering. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That shouldn't be too bad to do. Having something rotate in a circle is a little annoying in this. You'll have to like go into the JSON file itself, and you have to append the animation line with something specific to help alleviate that, going from the extreme negative to positive, so you don't get jank. But there is definite jank, so rotations will never be perfect. So we have our new mounting system, mounting place for the chip. Seeing if we take it out, that's what it will look like. So you have to imagine all of the engine here gone. This will be just kind of like an empty chassis. And then attached to the chassis itself will be just this bar and then the little prongs. And the idea is you create whatever your temporal circuit assembly is. I've got to rename that because I hate that name. I want it to have assembly in it, though, right? So you have this chip, and it is like this one is a hauler, because I wrote this in Fey runes, so that is a hauler. And then the green is the mode of transportation, right? So like you can socket it, you'll see it, and then the rest of the engine and everything else, the model changes and materializes. So this is our thruster right now. I think what would really finish it off is if we had this color, right, the frame, as a ring, as like a liner, right on like this middle here. And then for each panel to really accent it, we could put like another like inner panel here that's the same color as that ring. And then particles would spawn inside of this ring, maybe randomly within this area here. And that would be async particles. Yeah. I love that engine design. I'm glad. At first I was worried. I'm like, is it too busy? Is it, But no, I think I'm warming up to it. So this is what you would look like sitting inside. This would be the darter, so only one person could sit in. One person drives. There's no back seat. I'm thinking I should probably lift that whole back up a little bit. That whole like back seat area. It should sit higher. Yeah, that helmet's just wow. Yeah, that's the night vision helmet. This is an in-game helmet. I love this helmet. So freaking good. But apparently you can yeah, it's the night vision mask. Yeah, this is in-game. Love it. Love this helmet. It's got like the little Z fighting there, but that could be easily fixed. Yeah, but such a good helmet. But yeah, this is what the normal person would see. This is what you would see first, third person, right, looking at it. You sit pretty comfortably. You don't really clash with your control panel. You're sitting like in your seat. And this is the view from the inside. You'll still have plenty of space to like, look around, but you're more sitting inside of the chassis and not like on top of this boat, you know what I mean? Like you were sitting too high before, I felt. But I shifted like your control panel and everything down a bit. But yeah. So this, I think, needs to come up a little. We're going to experiment with it. It definitely does need to come up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, because I just did everything with the model, I'm going to... you have not saved your changes. Would you like to save? No. Don't want to save changes. This is what I want. So we're going to do a file open. We're just going to reopen it. That way it keeps the texture mapping we did. Right? So I want to look at this. Let's make it full screen. The way I have everything set, let's start minimizing some of this stuff here. There we go. So it's the inner assembly, right? So ideally, if I shift it up just that far, right? So you could see things kind of peeking out. I think that will look better, which means this part here I do have to shift up as well. Right, something like that. And I could delete that part, right? So it's just that. Yeah, because it just sits too far. I think it just sits too far down. You know what? I could probably even just push it back up a little bit more. This should go into here. It's part of that assembly. What the hell do I have this extra tube here? What do I have that for? Why is some of this stuff not looking quite right? What does it look like in the model? That's weird. See, it's like there's extra tubes here. All right, hold on. I did something wrong. We're going to do File, Open, Basic, Open. Your current unsafe project will be cleared. Yes, clear it. There we go. We'll start fresh. I think I accidentally moved something that I didn't want to. Right, it's this inner assembly part is what I care about. Oh no, it looks like these were just extra tubes. Weird. I'm gonna delete these out. Oh shoot! I know what these are. Yeah, I gotta delete these out. There we go. Yeah, I duplicated these tubes, and then when I shifted everything up, I had a whole secondary tube. I gotta, like, audit all this. Yeah, see? This is all the inner assembly stuff. Alright. So I can delete that. Delete, 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 delete. So now it's only that inner chassis. Which means that this seat here needs to migrate into here. I need to get rid of that old socket because that's no longer needed. Now I can shift the entire thing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 would be... You know what? Let's do it. Let's make it 3. We'll try that out. These tubes also should have shifted. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and move these pipes into here. There we go. Now those pipes are good. Those pipes will no longer work. I think I need to, like, angle them down, like have them come down or something. But for now, I'll just leave them. Let's see what this looks like. File, save. So we're just bringing this out, right? So if you're level with it, you'll start to see some stuff. Bit off topic. How do you like VS community compared to current Minecraft community? Also noticed some people from Create Aeronomics starting to take a look at VS as well. I like the Vintage Sword community a lot more than I should say the Forge community. There are a lot of, there are a lot of cool people, right, in the Minecraft community. I do not like how you get help with Forge. I feel like every time I've ever tried to post anything, or anything that you see, and if you know the community, I don't even have to, name specific names in the Forge forums, but they're all like, learn how to code Java. Learn Java, then come back. Learn Java. It's like, you know what? Maybe some things aren't about learning Java. Maybe it's about just trying to help someone who didn't write the Forge API and has no idea how it works because every single update you guys decide to completely change and revamp things, which literally breaks everyone's mods and you got to start from scratch. So the more complex your mod is, the more you get penalized. I hated that part. I think modding with Minecraft in general is clunkier. I can make changes on the fly while running the program here. Minecraft, I would have to shut down to like move the GUI, to like move a button over a couple pixels and see if I got something right. I'd have to shut down. I'd have to reload everything, right? I'd have to save my Eclipse or whatever I'm using. And then I'd have to, run it again. Wait the, 3 to 4 minutes for Forge to start back up, load into the world, which could take another minute to 2 minutes. And then I gotta, make sure that if the world wasn't saved, right, if I just did a hard shutdown, I'd have to, and then just to bring it up and be like, is it over 2 pixels? Oh, darn, I did it in the opposite direction. So I got, instead of add 2, I gotta subtract 2. And then what you gotta do, you gotta shut down again. And it's I feel like it's a toxic community, you know what I mean? Like, and toxic as in, like, if you want to make a mod, like, I'm not a professional game developer, right? No one really is, right? Like, we just want to make something cool. Like, make your API intuitive. Stop changing everything because you like this setup because it's more. It reminds me. I have a coworker who will go out of his way to look up acronyms for things. And then he'll say, like, on all these acronyms, because he's just waiting for you to ask the question, what are you talking about? And then he wants to just vomit all of this knowledge, right? I feel like a lot of the Forge API is like, there's no reason why they would have wanted to change like how to register an entity. But now it's like, oh, instead of Forge registry, it's Forge mod registry, and it takes in special, obscure logic, right? Like it takes special a special sub method of this method, and you have to come up with this, secondary engine of rendering to do all this. But to do what? It's still an entity. You didn't improve anything. All you did was overly complicate a bologna sandwich, right? Like that everyone was comfortable with because you guys just wanted to do it. It sucked. It sucked. And then Java, right? Like a null point exception, bam, game crashes. At least this one, depending on the severity of the issue, you could still like first of all, it shows you what line it is. You have a chance of trying to solve it and keep the game up. Worst case scenario, you just shut down the game fast and bring it back up. But it's more lenient with like, I'm right now, this right here. These are not textures. These are null textures. It would have crashed the game if this was Minecraft just because I have these tubes here. It's ridiculous. Now, instead of null point, we just get an exit code 1. Yeah, but the exit code 1, there's a little more flexibility with it. Again, this is a null. So, and it's not crashing the game. I had an error pop up right here. Right? And it tells me what it is. So I'm like, yeah, those are null. You couldn't get away with that with Minecraft. It would have sunk your battleship over something minor. But I do like it sitting higher up. I think it looks good. I will need to fix this up a little bit. Maybe I could take that and like extend it up. I will probably have to do something about that gap as well. But this is looking pretty good, which now begs the question, should I do something with... No, you know what? I like the fact that this is inset. This may even be able to go just 1 or 2 higher. Because the idea is, right, like inside the chassis, you expect there to be other things, right, underneath. Like all this extra stuff just sits on top. I'm going to try and bump it up just one. Yeah, that gap kind of feels like it sits on a platform, but in a good way. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I could put like a border on it, like something just to clean it up a little bit. So right, really all I have to do is just to test out. Bam, up 1 more. See, now it looks like it's kind of in line with the control panel. I can fill in those gaps there if I like this, and I can leave that gap. I could just make like a little, you know, like the outer casing, the frame, just so it's not as like jarring, like there's just a metal, like, you know, it's got and what I could even do is maybe thin this out a little bit. But I think this is going to be pretty good. Let's save it. Reload. Now it's just moving up one, right? But we'll see. Maybe it's too high now that I'm thinking about the model. It may be a little too high. Yeah, I think it's going to be like one too high. But like, look how fast it is, right? Just a quick reload. The game is still running. I don't have to shut everything down. Yeah, I feel like that's too high. Actually, it is too high because now this isn't socketed anymore. Yeah, now it feels like just a lot of empty space. It's amazing what one pixel can do, right? Like one pixel move down. All right, so let's go back to here, pump it down one. That way these kind of socket in. Yeah. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. And what I could do, so I'm going to save this. So with this piping, I could have this piping connect to here. So it's not just kind of sitting there. Like I could complete the ring to some degree. What I would do here is probably move the position to here. Probably do some rotation magic. Right? Could be something. Maybe something like that. And then on this side, lame. I have to move the origin to here, and then we would push it back 1, 2. Man. 1, 2. There we go. Oh, I can't stack these. There we go. That helps. Position. There we go. Now it's going to be similar, right, to this one. So 67.5. Negative 67.5. Let's get this in the 30s. Negative 30. So it should be negative 36. Right? Same kind of socket there. I'm going to save this. We are going to texture those things. What is the texture for... It should probably be the same texture here. So let's look up what that's called. It's called bar 1460. So we're using metal. So where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So these two pipes will need to be metal instead of null. Yeah, so we got, these two pipes. So I'm just going to copy all of this. We're going to look for # null. We're going to change it all to metal. Should be 12. Yep, double check. Always double check, just in case you accidentally did a complete, throughout the current document. Because as you can see, I did that replacement, and then it went defaulted back to current document. I've been screwed over by that before. All right, now what I'm going to do is do File, New. Do not save the project, right? Reload. Bam. I also love the feature of clients getting all the mods from server. Yeah, that was so good. So good. The one-click downloads are pretty cool too. I like that. It's not as jank feeling. But yeah, that's a big barrier, right? It's like, well, you guys gotta download this pack and come here and make sure you have this revision of everything. Now it's like you just do the server, propagates to the client the way it should be. There we go. So we shifted it down one. this kind of connects in, right? So that makes a little more sense, because if you look, it's actually connected through that rod here back into the system. So now it looks like we got like a complete loop here, and then just kind of angles down into that terminal. I could, instead of having that be the metal, I should make it the copper. I think it's going to look better as the copper. Here it is. So let's do metal. $. Maybe at the end I can put like a little terminal connection or something on there to make it look like it's going from copper to copper and then it's powering. But if I understand it correctly, they moved update to .NET 7 for later. Yeah, .NET 7. It's something that Tyrone's doing on the side as well. There's a 1.17 version for it. We'll probably see it come out maybe next, if I had to guess. Huh, it did not do it. Oh, I never saved it. Ha! All right, reload. But yeah, I think that's probably the next thing. And that's probably why if you read the update, he states, that the next update's going to be de-janking. So it's probably going to deal with trying to fix some long-standing problems. Like, for instance, if you're a model creator, there's that 48 pivot point animation cap. No idea why. But, probably fixing things like that, right? Making sure that the collision box, like, rotates with the model instead of being just this big box that the model rotates and the big box stays the same. Yeah, that looks better. I like that more. And then I can just pop another square at the end here to kind of cover that. So it looks like it goes from the terminal, cable, terminal, and then, propagating through. But yeah, and we would probably get the .NET 7. I think he said he was waiting for, there's a library or two he's waiting to be updated for .NET 7, and then probably pursue it. That looks good now. Looks more connected to everything. Yeah. I think it's coming together here. I got 8 minutes. But yeah, we got our nice socket, right? So all the work that I put into making this item actually shows. This we gotta make a you know what I could do? I could add a part of a frame like right there, and I can have it go up, and it could be like a little rest, right? And then I can have it on the other side, right? So it comes up and maybe it like locks in, like little bars come up, and then like little cups, right? Kind of just there. And then the ring's just like sitting like on it, right? And then when it powers on, it can hover up. So I'm thinking, because I do like the position that it's a little further to the back. It allows you to kind of see, the little globes and stuff. Yeah, we got to put that inner ring in there. But I think overall, this is pretty good. The flying machine, I don't know how I can make this look. I do like the big balloon, but I feel like the big balloon isn't exactly Rift-esque. It goes from like super complex, right? Like intricate detail to big balloon on top. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned. I do have to. I probably will add some of these streaks here. I may make a panel going from here to here, and then I may put some of the streaks in there. This being rope, maybe I can make it. I can make it like this, right? Like this will be the center, and then like the copper kind of wrapped around it, instead of just this one thick rope. Because the rope, I don't know, rope doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know. Also, maybe a fix finally for VMS. Oh yeah, stretch animations. Yeah, that's never worked right. I would like the jank to be removed or fixed for spawning as well. Spawning's kind of like all over the place. You can add all these variables, but it doesn't work right. I like this. I definitely like this. Maybe I could do something with this to where I hollow out the middle, and then I can put something else like on the bottom, like maybe another one of my parts. That way, as you're looking in, like it could be like a cavity. So maybe this goes over right to the wall, and then it leaves that. Well, I would have a cavity probably in here, right? Like this box here, and then right down, and then have it like sink in, maybe. I could start doing it. I probably won't be able to finish it, though. Let's open up the model again. See, like, I get lost in the details sometimes. So this, I would just push back. Right? We don't need it to be as long. Something like this. I can push it... Oops. I could push it down. Something like that. That way I'm getting rid of that gap at the bottom at the same time. Right? Make it solid. This one I can hide for now. We can duplicate this. Since we're dealing with whole numbers, that should evenly do it there. So now we have that cavity, right? I can pop this back out. What I can do is we can shift this down. Okay, I have an idea. Whoops. And I can make this go 1, 2, 3. 3 down, right? So we can get that cavity. See, I think that would look pretty good right there. Just to give it a little more depth, what I can do now is I can duplicate this. Yeah, duplicate this. Maybe make this 2. Nope, make it 3, back 1. We'll make it 4. Yeah, we'll make it 3, go up a little. Perfect. Now let's raise it up. So it is level here. No, down 1 more. Okay, this is looking better. Yeah, I'm liking this because those will socket in. I don't like this spacing here though. You know what? I don't think it. God, it's so annoying to see this sometimes. There may be a little Z fighting. So what I'm gonna do is just bump it down by a fraction here. Whoops. Whoops. What the hell? With the weird rotation. So this has to be 16.99. File, save. All right, this will give us a rough idea. I guess I did fix it before I went. Oh, like shelves? Yeah, kind of. I want the solid, the one part to feel solid, and then I just want there to be just not like a flat, a flat just like shelf. I want, like the hard on the outside, right? Like, solid on the outside, kind of wraps around, and then it kind of sets in a little bit. And I can change the Yeah, see, something like this, right? Like, these things are here, right? This is right up against the side. I can add a little bar on the side, like edging bar, like on the bottom, to kind of make that feel more like a demarcation, right? But it goes right to here. And then I can change the texture of the bottom floor so it's maybe this color. But, you know, it just kind of like sits in there, right? And if I change that bottom texture, it's going to change that depth as well. So I will do that quickly here. This is what it's called. Instead of metal for everything, let's go ahead and do lead. Let's change it to lead. 5 occurrences. Fireball change. You know, I could probably make that whole inner cavity lead and then have the metal be on top. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. I could also put like trim on the sides too, like that edging as well. It's not hard to do. Has Vintage Story added bad thunderstorms? Yeah, I think so. There are some really bad thunderstorms now. And it's cool because like the ambiance of a bad thunderstorm. So I think that looks pretty darn good. And again, right? All the textures and everything. This will be the last thing I show. Here, I'll get a couple, make some space here. So, for instance, the panel, right? Purple heart. You apply it, bam, right? Anything that's like panel flagged, I want to touch every part of it here. That was the panel. You know, like I want it to feel like a complete change. Something like the metal, or you know, we'll do the we'll do the metal. I'll do the bald cypress. I didn't fix everything else here yet, but you know, bam, anything that was metal, right? You know, it's gonna affect the thruster. I'm ready, yeah. You know, so that's kind of the goal, right? See, like that would have been the metal too. So you gotta imagine like the smooth bismuths and everything else. But that's the ultimate goal, right? See, like there's some metal, like this would have changed the metal up here. I have to redo this balloon. It's so hard doing this stuff, like, precisely. Because, like, that's kind of glitching through. So I got to redo the balloon. And if you notice, like, the bottom's kind of detached. One thing Blockbench does incredibly well is they have a snap function. If we had that in this model creator, home run. Home run. Because you could take an angle, right? I could say this angle attaches to that angle. It shifts it up and it recalculates all other angles and everything. It's so good. So freaking good. You can really make perfect things with that. But for now, not bad, right? Not too shabby. Oh, you can see the panel underneath here. So yeah. We've done a lot. Let's find someone to raid. Let's go to Twitch. Who is actually playing Vintage Story? Our man Occult Access is doing it. Let's do someone new here. They got to speak English though. That's my one thing. My God, we got a lot of people here. There was an update. Professional Autismo. No. Who is this? No, not English. You know, we'll do Occult Access. We'll do our man Occult Access here. Copy. Oh, chat rules. I gotta agree by them. Exclamation raid. /raid Cold access. Boop. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Yep. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go get some food. I probably will live stream later tonight as well. It'll be after 7:30. I'm feeling I got a good night's sleep in. I want to set up the new microphone as well, this Yeti X. But yeah, I will either play the game or just continue fixing things in this mod. So yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.